What's up guys, Caleb here from Reality Check again. We're back with Mr. Steven Pinto, who we sent over to Computex 2018 Taipei, and he had a look at some awesome MSI laptops. Today, in this installment, we're going to be looking at the WS Workstation. Let's take a closer look at it.
So the next model we're looking at is the WS Workstation. So what's nice about this type of workstation compared to the WT is the S is for slim. So when you actually look at the chassis, you can see it's very thin and light. But there's no compromise in the power it does have, because it does have the Trinity Boolean that it takes from MSI's gaming notebooks as well. We look a bit closer, it does have a fingerprint reader as well, so you still have that security. And when it comes to the actual unit specs, you can see still i7 processor, up to, or using the 8th gen, still has a Quattro card as well. Can go from P2000 to P4200, and then the screen, of course, depending on what you need as well. The RAM, you can see it's only got 2 slots this time, so only 64 gig, but it does have one NVMe and one normal SATA drive, so you can get the performance from the SSD and still be able to hold all your files on your machine as well.
Okay, so me personally, I've never really had the opportunity to play around with the workstation models. Like I've had the gaming laptops, I've even had some of the stalls, those kind of things. Right. But this is kind of unfamiliar ground for me. So tell me a little bit about what the intention with this laptop is with MSI.
Cool. So how the workstation business is a little bit different. You have the models are based on how you need the cooling designed. So you have the really thin profile units, and then you have the really thick profile units. It's similar, same chassis to what they use on the gaming side, but what's different is that you spec your workstation exactly how you want it. If you want to have the Quattro P2000 or the Quattro 5200, you spec according to which form factor makes the most sense for cooling. So basically the Titan of the workstations has the most amount of cooling. So if you wanted to put a P5200 Quattro in there, an i7 or an i9, you can do that. You can even put an i5 in if you want to be stupid, but you put an i9 or an i7 in it, you can spec the RAM however you like, you can spec the NVMe drives however you like. You basically spec to order. So those machines, all the workstation machines, are all designed around the form factor that suits your business and your needs, and then you spec it however you want. So you can put an i9 in the thinnest profile you want. It works, and that's what's interesting. You can order anything that they make, whether it's the workstation that doesn't have a monitor, it's just like a case, or you can get the really thick unit or the slim one. You spec it however it suits your needs, because the Quattro sets of cards are designed for like CAD modelers and for simulators and so on. So you spec it however you need, but you can have a really thin profile machine that's spec'd ridiculously well, and it'll do whatever you need for whatever work you throw at it. Then the bigger stuff is all based on like how the cooling is set up.
So I think ideally, I mean, obviously this range is targeted at professionals. There's no like, you know, subpar people who don't know what they're doing, don't know what they need it for. It's like you go in looking for a workstation to buy a piece of equipment that does the job that you need it to do. And you need to know what that job is. And it's going to do it well, basically.
Yeah, and then all the differences between the different chassis is just about cooling. You just need different cooling, and that's why you have the different options. So with regards to the whole workstation lineup, it's interesting in the sense that even the unit that doesn't have a screen or you know, it's not a laptop, it's just the form factor of a laptop. There you can plug in whatever monitor you want, whatever keyboard you want, but it still has the portability of picking up a whole machine, going somewhere else and putting it down. And it's all plug and play, right? But it's all spec'd crazily. So you can have the i9 in it, you can have a P5200, you can spec it however you want, and that's the variety that MSI gives you on those specs. It's designed for professionals. And professionals have the ability to pick what they want. Whereas in the gaming setups, you have to pick this machine because it has this processor.
Absolutely.
It has this. Or you have to pick that machine because, no. You can have whatever you want.
You make it how you need it.
It's made to order, it's made for you as a professional. And that's really cool. It is using the exact same cooling systems that they use in the gaming range, and same chassis. So you know it's well designed, it's brushed aluminium, it's got all the
I mean, that's never been a question, really.
It's not a question of quality. Like, they build the quality, but what's great about the workstations is that you pick whatever you want. And as a professional, having that flexibility, I think that's something that's key that you don't get offered anywhere else.
No, that's ideal.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get my hands on one. I think I'm going to try and get a good word in there from MSI and see if we can maybe play around with it. And, just like a little nudge, wink, wink. But we've got some other laptops we're going to be taking a look later on in these installments at some of the more gaming-oriented laptops. So keep your eyes open, guys, and make sure you subscribe to Reality Check. Peace.